What's going on, traders? A few things to talk about. It's going to be a pretty short video. I just want to get you guys prepared for what can potentially happen within the next few weeks or so. So before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So another beautiful day in the Discord. Yesterday, before close, we jumped into Robinhood 100 strike calls with an expiration of July 18th. We jumped in at 2.34. We saw Robinhood pump all the way to 98 at open. So before open today, I let Discord members know that I'm trimming profit on Robinhood at open and leaving runners for either a break-even price or target of 98. We saw Robinhood pump all the way to 98 and ultimately give all that back. Luckily, we got out of that play just in time to take profit, and we took profit at 3.40. Today, we jumped into Tesla puts, right? Nice little lottery play here. We jumped into 270 puts, expiration this week, this Friday, July 11th. We jumped in at 0.52, ended up trimming some contracts before close. I'm still holding some runners, but yeah, looking really good. I collected about $800 off this play, and now I'm still left with like $600, $500, something like that. So still got 20 contracts left, a few runners left on this play. So hoping for a gap down when it comes to Tesla heading into tomorrow or later on this week. We'll see. But yeah, Tesla looking good for potentially more downside. We'll talk about that in a bit. Winners tab, Discord members killing it as usual. A lot of new members have come into the Discord and made an absolute bag. So congrats to you guys who took advantage of the discount codes and all that fun stuff. This guy right here, well, this is me right here, made $3,000 off of Oracle calls. This guy right here, he made $2,800 off the Robinhood calls that was alerted, right? Congrats to him. He's been killing it as always. Her right here, she's always killing it. $460 off Tesla. This guy right here, always killing it. $4,000 off of Tesla as well. 4,700. This guy right here, $330 off of, I believe, yeah, Tesla calls, and then he made another $700 off the Robinhood play that was alerted earlier. This guy, he's new, first play with the team. He took the Robinhood play with us. He made $75 off Robinhood and another $132 off the Robinhood call as well. This guy right here, $190 off Tesla. The list goes on, guys. $918. Her right here, she made $28. So I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. I don't want anyone getting the misconception that I do nothing but win in the Discord. We just go on a lot of win streaks, okay? It's very hard to stop. I don't think we took a loss in like 2-3 weeks, right? So I take losses. I definitely take losses. We take losses in the Discord. It's just once we get the ball rolling, it's hard to stop. So I don't want anyone joining the Discord thinking they're just going to win, and there's no losses. No matter what Discord you join, you're going to take losses, all right? So I just want to make that clear before you join the Discord. Discord link will be in the description below. So let's talk about the market, all right, real quick. So SPY. Today, nothing too interesting happened, okay? Tesla made a huge move towards the upside and then ended up giving a lot of it back towards close, you know, because Elon Musk is just going crazy on Twitter all of a sudden, starting to talk about Epstein files all over again. But ultimately, nothing too crazy, right? We pretty much consolidated majority of the day. We saw bulls pretty much fight for this 620 level, very hard level to get past. As you guys can see, we just cannot break below this level, right? So this is something you want to pay attention to. Now, in regards to institutions, right? So interesting enough, today we got an alert from the Discord bot that institutions loaded up 600 strike puts for the SPY. Expiration date is July 31st. Now, this could be hedging, right? This can very well be hedging. I want to make this clear because the orders are not anything crazy, right? That's not something worth going too crazy about, right? I prefer something like 10 and over. So this could be a hedge position, okay? It could be a hedge position, but it's something I want you guys to keep in the back of your mind. So if the SPY does dump, right, by the July 31st, you're not surprised, okay? But if we are looking at the SPY, we know that 620 is our key level. Now, I want to make it clear, I'm not in this play at all. I'm not in 600 strike puts at all. I'm kind of waiting to see if the SPY can actually close below at least 620. Max, I'm looking at about 618. It's a very tight range here. I want to make that clear, like a very tight range. So even if the SPY gets below 620, you're still looking at a move towards 618, right? So you have to break not only below 620, but you have to break below 618 to really create some decent space towards the downside. And you're looking at 615. Lowest is about 613, 612, which we talked about in our last video. But as long as the SPY holds 620, I'm kind of, I guess, neutral, right? I think a very low risk trade, assuming that SPY opens up at 620 tomorrow, is maybe some calls. You take a low risk trade here, 620, not 620 strike calls, but maybe some calls from here, set a stop loss at around 618, something like that. But ultimately, me, I'm just kind of going to sit back and see what happens. As long as the SPY holds 620, I'm kind of neutral. What I want to see in order to be somewhat bullish again is the SPY to break above 625, which is right where this gap fill is. If it can break above 625, 625, then I think there's space and opportunity towards 627, and we can open up the floodgates. If we get above 627, then we can open up the floodgates to about 630, 635. We talked about that in the past. But for now, kind of neutral. I know some of you are bearish, some of you are even bullish. I don't think anyone's really wrong. I think it's okay to be bullish because every dip is bought back up, right? So anytime we dip towards the downside, it's bought back up. So I imagine it's hard to flip bearish, right? That's why a lot of you, some of you, not a lot of you, but some of you talk crap in my comments, right? And then I understand why some people are bearish, right? Because we've been running for quite some time, like a very, very long time. We've been running. Okay, so I understand why some people will want to be bearish at this point because it's getting kind of crazy, right? So I don't think anyone's necessarily wrong until we get some concrete evidence, right? And the market doesn't seem to necessarily care about tariffs. And this is something I said in the Discord, that I don't think the market is going to like correct or crash and burn until we see some solid evidence on the ground that tariffs are actually affecting things. But for now, I don't think the market really cares about what Trump has to say, right? It's not taking anything Trump has to say seriously, because he just continues to backpedal. One day he's talking about tariffs, the next day he's like, all right, we're gonna pause, the next day he's like, oh, we're gonna extend, we're gonna negotiate. Like it's always the same thing over and over. And I think the market is just getting used to that and just like, okay, you got to show us something new this time. So it's crazy that when the market continued to pump today, you kind of saw Trump just get more and more aggressive with news, right? Or you saw the news get more aggressive when it comes to tariffs. The same thing with Tesla, right? We'll talk about Tesla in a bit, but when Tesla was pumping towards the upside, you saw Elon Musk just continue to get more and more aggressive with his tweets. I thought that was pretty crazy. But you guys let me know what you think about that in the comments below. So triple Qs, right? Triple Qs, 550 still remains your key level. 550 cycle level, 549. You manage to break below that, then you open up the floodgates to about 544. Right here where these guys are, and then you get below 544, obviously you're heading towards 540. For now, triple Qs is below this rising wedge pattern, you guys' favorite pattern in the world, I know. So you can easily just play games here, right? And the longer you play games here, the more, I will say, invalid this pattern gets. I really hate when it does that. So if bears really want to take control and step in, they would have, I assume they would have done it by now, but bulls are just way too strong. So we can do this, right? We can just bounce back up here, hit these guys right here, and then break down all over again. So something you want to pay attention to. Again, I'm pretty neutral. We're just really stuck in this very tight range. There's not much to discuss here when it comes to upside and downside. You just have to respect the levels at this point. 550 is your key level to the downside, 549, and then from there you're looking at, well, to the upside you're looking at 555. You get above 555, then you open up the floodgates towards this gap fill at 555.6, 556, and then from there you're looking at a move towards 557. So again, you're just in a very tight range. That's why it's really hard for me to be, I guess, overly bullish and overly bearish. I'm just trading whatever good setups I see. If I see a good setup, I'm just going to trade it. All right, so that's pretty much where my mind is right now. I'm not really tunnel vision on the triple Qs and the SPY. You guys know I'm paying attention to semiconductors. So we talk about Tesla, right? We're going to talk about Tesla here. So Tesla, if you go to the daily time frame here, Tesla is breaking below or retesting this symmetrical triangle. What is going on? All right, it's not working. Here we go. So Tesla, my mouse is not working. All right, here we go. So Tesla is retesting the symmetrical triangle. Let's actually go to the 4-hour. It's probably going to give me a hard time again. There we go. All right, so Tesla is retesting the symmetrical triangle. It hit double resistance here at around 303. It had a hard time staying above 303. You can argue 302, that's fine, but 303 was my key level here. If Tesla stays below 300, you open up the floodgates all over again to 294, and then 290s is the lowest you could potentially go. I mean, you obviously can go lower, but right now, as long as we stay within this range between 300 and 290, that's what I'm focused on. So 294 will be your next key level here, right here where these guys are. So, you bounced here, you did your dance here, and then you somewhat bounced here, right? So 294 is your next key level, and then lowest you're looking at is about 290, 288. Today, we saw Tesla dump towards close all the way towards 294 and ultimately bounce off that level. I do think Tesla is going to see more downside from this point. I wouldn't be surprised, right? I do think it's very much possible that we revisit at minimum or max, I should say, 290 and at minimum 294. So that's what I'm looking at for Tesla right now. I'm not necessarily bullish on this thing anymore. All right. If it manages to get above 305, right, we did set a stop loss at 305 for Tesla, then you start opening up some new targets, right? You open up the gates towards 310, 312, 320. Highest you're looking at is about 350. Until that happens, really hard to be bullish on Tesla at this point, especially with the with how Elon Musk has been acting lately. So yeah, Tesla is not looking too good at this point, or looking too bullish at this point, starting to lean a little bit more bearish, especially if you get below that 290 area, 290, 288, and then from there you're looking at a move towards 285, 280, and then lowest you're looking at, which I'm sure everyone knows about, is 270. Now the projected short-term move for this is 265 for the symmetrical triangle. It is 265, so that's something you want to pay attention to. Okay, now the measured move for this is kind of insane. You're talking about a move all the way towards the 160s, 170, right? I don't know if Tesla's going to head that low, but if you're talking about the short-term projected move, you're looking at about 260. So I will lean more. I think that's a more reasonable target than 170 at this point. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for Tesla. NVIDIA, like I said before, semiconductors is the main thing I'm going to be paying attention to. Until NVIDIA starts giving up these major levels, it's hard to be overly bearish on the market, right? So that's what I'm looking at for NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA is holding 150, is way above 150. It's at 160, right? Trump did announce that they're looking at, throwing tariffs at semiconductors, so that's something you want to pay attention to as well. So just be careful trading NVIDIA to the upside. Me personally, I'm not looking to trade it anymore. I got my shares. I'm good. If anything, I'm just looking for a sign that, hey, the market's ready to really roll over, like really roll over. I'm not talking about these small dips. I'm talking about really roll over. So again, NVIDIA gets below 150. 153 is your first major level. After that, 150, it gets below 150, then that's when you start worrying, okay? But for now, even if the market dips, I would say it's just a buy to dip opportunity at this point. So we'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for NVIDIA. Still looks good. You're back above 159. That was your key level. Floodgates are open all over again towards 165, 170. We'll see. All the way at the top of this range. So you rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. And so boom. Okay. You could be looking at a move like that. Obviously, the market would be bullish if that happens. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for NVIDIA. But again, what I would pay attention to is the news, right? Pay attention to if Trump decides that, hey, overnight, tomorrow, semiconductors get hit with tariffs, okay? Feel free to look this up yourself. Don't take my word for it. You guys know I'm not a news channel or anything like that. I focus on the TA, but obviously I pay some type of attention to news. And so far, we're possibly going to get semiconductor tariffs. We'll see how the market reacts to that if that happens. So that's something you want to pay attention to. So don't marry the idea at this point that NVIDIA is just going to go straight to 170, okay? Be careful. Between today, tomorrow, the rest of the week, just be very careful. All right, last but not least, the VIX. Then I'll get you guys up out of here. The VIX. So the VIX, like I said in the last video, just because you see the VIX, just first off, the VIX just hates patterns at this point. It just disrespects patterns. I said this in the last video, right? But the VIX, you had this somewhat double bottom pattern. My mouse is not working. All right. You had this double bottom pattern, right? And yeah, like I said in the last video, it doesn't necessarily have to play out. You can just easily just break down here and fill this gap, right? And that's exactly what happened. So right now you're sitting at support on the VIX, right, at 16.5. So the VIX could bounce from here, guys. It can bounce from here, fill this gap. I mean, at this point, the gaps to the upside for the VIX is just getting ridiculous. There's so many gaps to the upside. So yeah, I mean, even when you're looking at the futures market, there's just so many gaps. Look at all these gaps, bro. So I mean, yeah, so you want to be careful with the VIX here. 16.5 is what I will be looking at. Like I said before, once the VIX gets within the range of 17 and 16, that's where you want to be careful. All right, so me personally, wait 30 minutes for during open tomorrow before starting to trade, and then see what happens. But yeah, VIX can very well just bounce from here, guys. Possibly form some type of triple bottom here, and then you're back towards the upside. I don't know what's going on today with my stuff, but regardless, that's what I'm looking at for the VIX. Can bounce from here. 16.5 is what you want to look at. You feel this gaps have very strong support and resistance. If that's not convincing enough, I mean, look at these psychopaths right here. So yeah, I mean, here, all in this area. So just be careful. All right, so that's pretty much all I have. In conclusion, guys, I'm pretty neutral right now, right? SPY holding 620. Bulls just continue to fight that level over and over again. As long as SPY stays above 620, and stays within the range of 620, 625, I'm sitting pretty neutral, right? Tesla, Tesla's not looking too good, right? As long as it stays below 300, it's very much possible that you head much lower from here, okay? Possibly 294 will be your first target. Lowest you're looking at is 290, and obviously everyone in the world is talking about 270. All right, so we'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, let me know what you guys think. You guys think we're going to continue back towards the upside? You think this is just simply a buy to dip opportunity? What you think about Trump tariffs? Is he for real this time? Right? What you think about Elon Musk? This guy is just going crazy. He's a genius, but something's wrong up there. He's a genius, but there's something off up there. So we'll see. I don't know if it's all engineered, but the way he's just randomly coming out of nowhere talking about this stuff is kind of crazy, right? And I'm not against it. I'm just saying it's kind of random, right? It's kind of crazy timing. So we'll see. Until the next video, traders, have a good one.